Hi, you are tuning into another Monday Moves with your favorite little demon, Kasara Wood. And I'm really excited today to get you opened up in, you guessed it, your hips. Because I know that they can get tight, and I know that you like to get swole, and you like to do those lifts, and you like to pump it up. But before you do any of that, we should really start working on your mobility and flexibility. So this is a quick 10 to 15 minutes that you can do after a workout. And I'm so excited to be sharing these little juicy secrets with you. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so you can hang out with me always. Okay, so to get into our hips, we're gonna first work on some chair pose. And this isn't going to be a normal yoga flow. We're actually gonna kind of break it down into some easy repetition so that way you can get through this flow and you can get through it quickly. So we're gonna start in chair pose. So bring your feet touching, toes touching, or about an inch width apart. Lift the toes, spread them out from pinky back to center, and find all the contact, those 4 points of contact in your feet, each foot. And then you're gonna go ahead and tuck the belly in, slightly engage the glutes. Inhale, and you can bring the hands to center, or if you would like some more difficulty, you're going to lift the arms up and keep them straight overhead. So that way that they're right behind your ears. They're pushing back. Inhale, exhale, lower down into that seat. Like I said, if that feels difficult, go ahead and bring the hands to the heart center, roll the shoulders down, slight squeeze of the shoulder blades, engage those glutes and those hamstrings, lower, pull in the tummy, and inhale, stand up, exhale, inhale, and exhale, lower down, inhale, stand up, and hopefully you're feeling your glutes engage and your hamstrings engage. And you're just gonna move through this with your own breath. Now we're gonna go ahead and take our feet wide after we've done a few of those, but we're gonna actually come down into a yogi squat. So we're gonna bring our heels in. We're gonna make those points of contact with the ground. So lift our toes, spread them out. Hands center by our heart. And think of the knees kind of pointing out over the toes. The glutes are slightly engaged and our tailbone is tucked. So we're gonna inhale and then we're going to exhale. And this time, just for a second, I want us to think of pushing the knees out while lifting the heart. And you can even try bringing your fists together in the center and then squeezing your knees in while simultaneously using your elbows to push them out, digging the toes into the ground, and really just feeling how the glutes fire when you're pressing in versus pressing out. So even press out, press in, press out, and just feeling how that changes around your tailbone. Now, for this part where we're going to lift up, we're going to press the knees out, keep the heart lifted, and think of lifting from the bottom of our glutes. So big inhale, exhale, lower down. Big inhale, lift up, exhale, lower down. Trying to keep the chest lifted as much as possible. Now, if you can't go down all the way, like perhaps your knees are coming too close, perhaps you're scooping under, then just go as far as you can. You're gonna slowly work down to that. So big inhale. Okay, now we're gonna move through a few together. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift. sure those knees are pointing out. Last one. Okay, and this time hang out here. So we're in the yogi squat, and this time you're gonna go ahead and you're going to sit down on that bum. Bring the knee forward, and you're gonna squeeze this knee into the chest, and you're going to compress. Roll the shoulders back, lift the heart. Now rolling, and you can always help yourself by gently lifting up the knee. And now rolling to the other side, keeping this foot flexed. And now, like I said, you're gonna wrap, and you're gonna hug, and you're gonna lift, roll the shoulders down, compress. And now let's do it one more time. Okay, now find yourself into that Malasana position. And now we're going to go ahead and just kind of windshield wiper, keeping the feet flexed. And now even moving, putting your weight into the back of the hands, maybe like lifting the hips a little bit when you do it. So going to switch. My knees are staying in front of my hips. Maybe I lift up, get a little bit of a stretch here. Lift up, get a little bit of a stretch here. And now this time when you switch over, go ahead and keep this knee in front of this hip. This ankle reaches out from the knee, and then we're going to move the same one back the same way. So all right angles, and it's gonna feel a little awkward. And we're going to go ahead and just bring this knee down. Think of rotating here, lifting, and we're going to think of reaching over this leg as much as we can. So slowly walk the feet out. Take a breath here. Roll the shoulders back, lift the heart, and lower, lower, lower. Find your spot and see if you can lower all the way to the ground. And you're going to feel the stretch on the outside of this left glute. Hopefully it feels juicy. Bring your knees in. See if you can compress. Lean a little bit forward. Maybe even like roll over the toes a little bit. Find that yogi squat. And here we are. And really just feel pressing the knees out and how that feels if you really work towards it. And then we're gonna wanna kind of think of that action while also simultaneously driving forward when we lift up. Big inhale. Now that we've moved through those moments, we're gonna find ourselves into a nice down dog. So you can go ahead and just forward fold, bring the chest to thighs, bend deep back into your seat because I know that your hamstrings are tight. It's okay. We're just thinking of trying to let the back out. And then we're slowly walking the hands forward. We're finding that down dog. So we're pressing into the L of our hands towards the corners of our mat, thinking of pushing away towards the corners of our mat, engaging our lats. Then we're gonna go ahead and put the weight into the balls of our toes, bend our thighs so we can put our stomach, our ribs back towards our thighs. And now feel how long our back feels. Engaging, so like make sure your weight is in your lats, serratus is engaged. You're pressing back, and then maybe you start to lower the heels. It's okay if your legs are bent. We want to focus on a straight back and then work on getting our heels down. I know your hamstrings are tight, Daddy, so don't you lie to me. It's okay to bend your knees. Do not worry about it. So we're going to go ahead and bring our feet a little bit closer than we think. We still want like 2 fists between them. And then we're gonna go inhale the right leg high. Exhale. Bring the knee to chest. Compress really tight. Inhale, piercing the sky with our toes. Exhale, compress. Inhale, lift. Exhale, compress. Inhale, lift. Exhale, compress. Inhale, lift.
And then this time we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna rotate open, keeping our toes and our knees pointed straight ahead in our left leg, but we're opening the hip on the right. And then we're gonna go ahead and kick the heel towards the glute. Maybe we look back and we wave to our little toesies. Lift up. Keep on opening through that hip. Take a few more breaths here. Then go ahead and bring that knee to meet the other. Inhale, exhale, compress. And then this time we're gonna go ahead and rotate that right knee out. Lift it up, compress, rotate out, lift up the toes to the sky, compress, rotate out, lift the toes to the sky, compress, step it through. You're gonna wanna feel the stretch on your left hip flexor. So left hip flexor, you might need to bring yourself up a little bit more. Keep engaging this left leg. So heel pushes back, and we're gonna sit in here, on here, and just be really active. This glute is active, everything is really active. Okay, now plant the left hand, lift the right hand up towards the sky, find that twist while keeping your back all square. So inhale, exhale. And now we're going to reach back, try to grab the knee and straighten both legs. Inhale, we're gonna lift up. Exhale, twist. And then inhale, reach back. Exhale, drop the heels. So it's 2 breaths on each one. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale, plant the heels. Do one more. Go ahead and find that low lunge, and this time dropping the knee. Go ahead and press yourself with both hands out. So your body is lifting out of the hips, but your hips are simultaneously dropping down. And I know you're telling me like, Cass, I'm way up here, like this is so hard. But Daddy, it's not gonna get any easier unless you do this with me. So perhaps you are up here and this is enough. Like your quads could be just really tight, your hip flexors could be really tight. That's okay. Wherever you're at, you could be here and lifting up as long as you're feeling the stretch in this quad, hip flexor, and maybe into this like low hip. You don't wanna have any like sharp pinching pain, but if it feels uncomfortable, discomfort, I hate to say it, is pretty normal. Okay, now we're gonna hang out here for a hot second. And then we're gonna go ahead and roll ourselves over onto this leg. So feeling a nice stretch in our left side body. We're not dumping in, we're actually lifting out of this arm, being really strong. This leg is super active. Toes are pointed forward. And then maybe we roll onto the outside edge of the foot and we open that hip a little bit more. Maybe you're like, oh, that's a lot on my hip, Cass, what can I do? And you can always just bring the foot back if it is feeling like really intense. But if you need more intensity, then bring it forward a little bit more and then start to open it up. Here. Hang out here, take a few breaths. Now we're gonna rotate back. And then this time we're going to rotate into the half malasana. This leg is going to stay really active, and you might be like, Cass, no, my inner legs are way too tight. I can't do that. And that's fine. So maybe yours is like looking more like this. So this time, go ahead and try to get into this leg. And if you need to bend this one, since we're trying to get into this hip, I would go ahead and bend this leg. But you really kind of want to work on straightening it. And then if it is straight, keep it active. And then you're working on pushing the right knee out. So active, our heart is lifted. We feel really, really really good. Now I'm gonna take us on a little bit of a journey, pressing from the right, again, pressing back through this toe and dropping into the left. Pressing the left knee open. Now, I tried with no hands. You want to do no hands if you want to work on mobility, but you can take it at your own pace. Now that we're into this this half malasana, we're gonna go ahead and plant the right hand in front of our toes. So it's going to look like this. So it's gonna look like this. We're gonna plant our right hand in front of our toes, right? And then maybe it stays here and we lift up towards the sky, right? So the right knee is going out, we're lifting up towards the sky. We're feeling this nice side body stretch. Maybe we go eventually for the bind. We compress, we wrap our hands around the back of us and we interlace them. So we're gonna find ourselves back into this. And if we can, we're gonna hang out and we're gonna just bring our right leg over to this little lizard lunge. Maybe come down on our forearms. Maybe that's too much. And we're just gonna work on little rotations through the hip. Nothing crazy. We're almost done, I promise. Okay, so go ahead and lift the knee, pressing into the toes on the left. We're gonna go ahead and bring our right leg back to meet the left. We're gonna find a plank pose. Maybe you hang out in plank. Maybe, Daddy, if you're up for it, we do a little chaturanga together. Reach forward, pull those elbows in, come up to an up dog. That probably feels so nice. And exhale, find that down dog. Now again, go ahead and bring the belly towards the thighs and then slowly lower those heels down, and let's just take a few breaths here. Now we're gonna repeat the same thing on the other side. Lifting the left leg, trying to not open the hip quite yet. Pointing the toe, exhale, round and compress. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, reach. One more. And now open that hip. Feels really good. And it's okay if each side's a little different. Wave to yourself with the little toesies. Try to keep this leg opening. Maybe rotate the ankle. And then bringing yourself back to center. Exhale, compress. Now rotate that leg open. Knee comes down. Rotating the left knee out, and it reaches towards the sky. One more time. And maybe this is a lot, so maybe you come up onto blocks. You just want to keep that back leg engaged, reaching forward so you're getting a nice stretch on the outside of this left glute and as well as that hip flexor. I know this is probably really intense, but I believe in you, okay? Hang out here for a few more breaths. And now we're gonna plant that right hand down, really press out of it, lift towards the sky, keep that lower back level, lift, exhale, twist, open, inhale, reach and plant those heels down. Exhale, twist, inhale, exhale, plant the heels down. Now, if you want to do this in one breath, you totally can. It would be inhale here and exhale this way. But we're kind of taking it slow. One more. This time on the inhale, go ahead and lower. Keeping that right leg active, left leg active, and coming into that hip posture opening, but this time on this side. Lifting and pressing out of that right side body. Maybe opening this knee. Oh, that really does feel so good on the hips. Now rotating and finding that knee flat. Maybe you lift from here. Exhale, exhale, lower. Letting the hips drop. Tummy stays tight. And lifting up and out. Now slowly finding ourselves over into that half malasana. Knee points out, lifts over to the side, pushing. You can even use your hand. This leg is still active, kneecap is pulled up, heart is open. And then no hands if you want to try this. The other side. We're going to switch back. And a deep breath here. And now we're going to potentially either find that opening where we just kind of look up towards the sky, or perhaps we're going for the bind, compressing, reaching our hands over. And this is intense. Exhale, release. Tilting into those toes. Here, walking that little left foot out a little bit and finding a little bit more of that lizard lunge. So this is going to come like pretty deep into this hip over here. So maybe you bring yourself up on a block. Maybe you can handle coming down onto the forearms. I'm really just focusing on dropping that hip. The back leg stays active, but we're really trying to get into that left hip. Maybe we come down into our chaturanga. Inhale, up for up dog. Exhale, down for down dog. Taking a few breaths here. And then taking the feet as wide as the mat, we're gonna walk ourselves back towards our hips. Try to keep the heels planted. And just think of kind of moving the weight from one side of the body to the other, but it's gonna go back into the heels, then towards the toes of the right side, then even, then toes towards the left, then to the heels, and so on, and like a little circle. And then we're gonna go back the other way. Try to straighten the legs. So work on bending deeply, and then pressing. And then maybe go for a fold, and then exhale, bend deeply, roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Dance it out. Feel loosey-goosey. And hopefully, your hips feel extra juicy. But if you wanted to try, you can roll them out, move them, get them, groove them, get your squats, get your kicks. Feel good? Okay. See? And I guess you should listen to me more often, huh? Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hang out with me every Monday so I can keep you on track.